All right, welcome back inside our studios for the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown. I'm Rich Walsh in for Bob Pompiani. Tonight we got a big show. We're talking about the Penguins. Are they headed into the postseason playing the right way? Are you worried about Phil Kessel, Evgeny Malkin, and Kris Letang? Are those guys going to return at some point before the postseason begins? And the battle in Buccos, they get their first win of the season. The home opener is tomorrow at PNC Park. Chris Archer's on the mound. We got an all-star panel for you tonight from left to right. On your screen, we got Andrew Fillipponi from 93.7, The Fan, and then Jason Mackey from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, who is covering the Penguins tonight, and Tim Benz from Trib Live Radio and the Steelers Radio Network. Thanks for joining us, and thank you for tuning in. And we got a lot to talk about. We're going to start with the Penguins, and we're going to start with Jason Mackey. And you got to like the way the Penguins are playing right now. You don't like that Evgeny Malkin and Kris Letang aren't in the lineup, and we'll get to that in moments. But Matt Murray had a good game tonight. Patrick Hornquist finally scored his first goal in 32 games. And most importantly, Jason, they get a win against a team that they're fighting with in playoff positioning. And if they would have lost this game, and who knows where they would have fell, but it looks like they're going to fall somewhere in 2 or 3 zone.
Yeah, Rich, I think if you're a Penguins fan, you should absolutely be encouraged by what you've seen out of the Penguins lately, and especially tonight. I was talking to Matt Cullen after the game, and he mentioned that, you know, they're kind of they were looking at all of the teams around them winning on Saturday night, and thus it made it a pretty big statement game tonight against the Carolina Hurricanes. And the Penguins absolutely responded. They've gotten terrific goaltending from Matt Murray. Look at what the fourth line has been doing. The third line has been very good. I'm a little bit worried about Phil Kessel. We'll get into that later in the show. But top to bottom, the Penguins look like an excellent team right now. They're playing the game the right way. I do think that they're absolutely a threat in the Eastern Conference. I'm not going to put them up with Tampa or anything crazy like that. But is this team, you know, poised for a first-round exit? No, I don't think so at all.
Yeah, look at their March, right, Jason? 31 days in March and 16 games. If you count Montreal as being in the playoff picture, which I do, they're still battling. Of those 16 games they had, they won 11 against competition that was currently amidst those fighting for playoff berths. If you look at the Western bracket and the Eastern bracket, look at all the teams that are currently involved in the playoff mix, and the Penguins got 11 wins against those teams, and 7 of them came against Eastern Conference foes. This was a huge month for them, and they delivered. And now it's just time to see them close out against bad teams, which was such an issue for them earlier in the season. If you remember, they started 1-7-1 against last place competition. Now they got the Rangers and the Red Wings, 2 teams that aren't quite that bad, but they haven't been in the playoff mix for a while. So hopefully the Penguins can reverse that curse. And actually, they're pretty good against non-playoff teams during this March run as well. So I've got a pretty good feeling about the Penguins where they sit right now.
Yeah, let's call it like it is. They had a successful March because Matt Murray played like maybe the best goaltender in the entire league. He had a .935 save percentage, which, if you don't know the context of that number, that would be good enough to lead the league in save percentage if he did it over the course of a full season. But my question is, if Matt Murray was a great goaltender for, let's say, the last 20 games, does he have another 20 games in him? Is he going to be an elite goaltender for what might end up amounting to half of a season? And if he's not, are they good enough with their injuries to make up for that? Are they going to ask Matt Murray to be their best player the way that they have, say, the last month or so?
Well,
and to me, look, your goalie's got to be great to win in the playoffs. I understand that, but we've never seen Matt Murray do it for that long. We've never seen him have like a 30 or 40 game run.
Well, you're right about that. And actually, Jason, you were at the press conference today too when Mike Sullivan was talking about how they're pretty much going to hit their number with Matt Murray in terms of games they wanted to play. They said that they wanted to have him between 50 and 55, and he'll probably be at 50 if he plays the last 3. Hopefully he doesn't have to, and they're locked into a spot, at least second by that point. Maybe they can give Casey DeSmith that last start against the Rangers. I wouldn't guarantee it, but now, Jason, I'll throw it at you. I don't think they wanted to get to that 50 number by having him play as often as he did throughout March against all these really tough members from other playoff teams. I think they would have liked to have spaced him out a little bit more going into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some validity to that, Tim, but something has changed with Matt Murray, too, and something has changed with Mike Sullivan's usage of Matt Murray, starting with that March 2nd game when he went back-to-back Buffalo-Montreal. They've taken the training wheels off of Matt Murray, and he's played extremely well. He's embraced this role. That's another thing that Sullivan talked about. To Andrew's point, though, I don't think they want to have Matt Murray carry the team. They want to find other ways to help him. Yes, they need him to play well. Yes, they need him to steal games. But, I mean, come on. We're talking about Evgeny Malkin, Kris Letang, Phil Kessel. They need these guys to get right. They need Evgeny Malkin to be happy, to be healthy, too.
And, Jason, they haven't been right.
I know.
And the goalies carried them. And I just don't see that formula working for them in April and May. I don't. They're going to have to take pressure off of him.
What don't you see working, though?
You
don't see Evgeny Malkin able to come back?
No, I do. What I'm saying is status quo isn't going to be good enough. I don't see them winning in April and May on the back of Matt Murray having to make 37 saves a night and winning 2-1 games because you're getting multiple goals from your fourth line. Like, I just don't see.
Well, and not only that, Andrew, but also some of those numbers you cited earlier, if you look even deeper, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong in this, guys, but up until this weekend, wasn't he the best goaltender when it came to high danger save percentage in the month of March as well, which means that he's seeing a lot of quality chances.
And that's just not sustainable. The law of averages is going to...
Even though they played some really good teams like I talked about, if you're talking about a best of 7 consecutively against the Lightning or the Capitals, then I bet those high danger chances go in more often, even though they've played some really good teams here of late.
They can win a round. To win more than a round, they need Malkin, Kessel, Letang, all those guys back.
All right, Jason, let's dive deeper into this. That's what I wanted to get into, Evgeny Malkin, Kris Letang. It looks like Evgeny Malkin's going to be back here in the next 1 or 2 games. But Kris Letang, we're all scratching our head with him. He's skating around before practice. He doesn't look great out there. I think they need him back, even though the record indicates that they don't really need him. But this is the guy, I think you need both of these guys back in your lineup with a healthy Matt Murray playing at his best for them to go far in the postseason.
Absolutely, and I've seen him skate before practice. I'm at every practice. It's not terribly encouraging, and I'm not saying that, you know, Kris Letang is going to miss the playoffs because of it, but he's going to have to make a pretty sharp turnaround here between now and Game 1 of Round 1 in order for him to get in the lineup. You watch Evgeny Malkin and Chad Ruhwedel skate. There's an intensity there, and I, leave Ruhwedel to the side, but Malkin will be back. It won't be a problem. Kris Letang is not in that grouping. Not long ago, he wasn't even skating with those guys. He was just skating on his own. And it is worrisome because of the part of the body that it is with Letang, and everybody believes it's his neck, and I don't disagree.
Of the 3 stars who we've dubbed question marks in this segment, Letang is the one that if he went into the lineup, I'd have by far the most confidence in, because the other 2 guys, let's be honest, Phil Kessel and Evgeny Malkin haven't had good seasons. Kessel hasn't scored an even strength goal since the Pro Bowl. And it's true. And Evgeny Malkin has been a minus player this year and has been mercurial. He's been up and down. And so, you can't say with Phil Kessel anymore, well, the playoffs will come and that's when he's going to turn it on, because last year when that happened, he scored only 1 goal. So the preponderance of evidence still says that he's been a primetime performer for the Penguins. But last year when we got to crunch time, he didn't deliver. And I have real concerns that the same thing might be true this time around.
Yeah, and the thing about Kessel right now with his slump is I don't see him sulking. Like, I don't see the lack of energy. I don't see the bad body language, perhaps at times, that we saw last year with him in the playoffs. I feel like he's moving, and I feel like he's trying to hustle to make plays even though the puck isn't going in the net, but it's not going in the net. And if he can't do anything at even strength, then that's bad. Because, as we all know, when it comes to the playoffs, you tend to see fewer opportunities in the power play, and he needs to get points at even strength to help balance out whatever defense is going to be thrown at the Crosby line when teams try to match up more often in the postseason.
All right, I want to talk more about Phil Kessel coming up. We got to take a break right now, and I want to talk about how important home ice advantage is for the Penguins in this year's postseason. But let's talk about a major move that's just been made. The former Kenny Ross Chevrolet and Nissan and Zelian Opel are both now part of the #1 Cochran team. This is #1 Cochran's first ever Chevy franchise and Nissan store #4. Right now, get grand opening, buy lease offers plus an extra $1,000 over KBB for your trade. Only at the #1 Cochran Chevrolet and #1 Cochran Nissan Cranberry stores. Back in a couple minutes.
The #1 Cochran Sports Showdown is brought to you by #1 Cochran, Go One Better, and by Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Have a greater hand in your health.